Today is Tuesday, May 12th, 2026. We are out at the wilderness boundary, kind of. So the end of Lincoln Woods Trail is right here. And the beginning of the wilderness trail is over here. And this is the North Fork of the East Branch of the Pemi? I think it is. This comes down from Franconia Falls, and then it flows into the East Branch of the Pemi down there. And we're going out today just to do Bondcliff. And maybe if we're feeling wild and crazy, we'll do Bond, but I don't think so. So we had big plans yesterday. I was thinking I would come in and go up Guitar Slide to West Bond and then come down around. And we've done that hike before, also in May. But it was a long day and a hard day. And yesterday we did Owl's Head. And I guess we're just not in our 4,000 footer frame of fitness or something. I don't know. We both were wiped. So we decided to do something a little simpler. Lots of flat on this. And this is the junction now for Franconia Brook Trail, which is lovely. It goes uphill right there, and that's pretty much all the gain. Doesn't it feel like it? Yeah. And then this is the Wilderness Trail, which is, again, following a rail line the way Lincoln Woods. Once we get out to it, we gotta get out around this little section. And yeah. It's sunny right now. It was sunny, then it was really overcast. So we'll see what we get. I think we're gonna at least have views. We might not have blue skies. And our plan is to eat lunch up there. So we're 3 miles in now. We got another like 1.8, 1.9 on the flat part. And then we'll be going, is that an oven bird? I think it is. And then we'll be going uphill, but pretty gently. It's just long. Long. Oh, winter wren. That water at the Wilderness Bridge is, of course, Franconia Brook. If it comes from Franconia Falls, I don't know what I was thinking. Anyway, this is the Wilderness Trail. You can see that it was rail line. It still has lots of ties that are quite a ways sticking up. Definitely worse than Lincoln Woods. And they also have quite a few down trees that are just left because it's wilderness. So it makes it a real challenge sometimes if you're trying to run. Gotta hurdle everything. All right. So we're making good time on this. Next thing will be Bondcliff Trail. We're out at the junction with Bondcliff Trail now. There used to be a section of trail that went that way, and I think there was a bridge that washed out, and so they closed the section of trail. But since Lincoln Woods is going to be closed this summer, I feel like people are going to be trying to use that. Be interesting to see how the crossing is. We've got a skidder here, some kind of metal. There's all kinds of stuff in here. Metal over there. There's bed frame behind this tree. We've got a barrel. This was a logging camp up in this area. And there's a piece of rail out here too somewhere close by. I don't know where though. All right, so now we're on Bondcliff Trail, and it's just a gentle climb. You might hear the fighters. It's a Tuesday. Hear them? Yep. Fighter jets. They're practicing over White Mountains. This is the first major water crossing on Bondcliff Trail. It should be easily rock hopped. Looks good. Second crossing on Bondcliff. I think we'll be all right. Plenty of exposed rock. We're about a third of a mile from Bondcliff now, and we're just about 4,000 feet. And this is kind of the first monorail that we've seen of any length. Saw one trail runner running down, and one day hiker coming up, hoping to do all three of the bonds. And that's it so far. We are carrying exo spikes, which are kind of like studs instead of spikes. I'm not going to put them on yet. We are just about to exit the trees. The trail goes up that climb. And I'm going to put on a layer. Sounds pretty windy up there. And the monorail was very short-lived. No need for spikes, at least just for Bondcliff. We are up on Bondcliff now. It's quite breezy. I just was out on the iconic rock that people stand on to make it look like they're on a cliff. Well, you are on a cliff. And yeah, it's a little too breezy for my liking. Looking over here. Our plan today initially was to climb Guitar Slide, but yeah, it didn't happen. It's okay. And then it's a mile to get to Bond and another mile from there to get to West Bond, so I think we're happy with our decision to not do that. Mount Washington, Kerrigan, the Hancocks. A little breezy here. Of course, the main view is looking across to Franconia Ridge. This is the southern Flume and Liberty, and Moose Lock rising behind. Yeah, it's cold. We had some snowflakes. All right. Looking out this way, I think we had Chicorowa right through here. The Osceola's in here. Ooh. That's the tri-pyramids right there in Whiteface. Okay. Lunchtime. My goodness. Oh, when you're not in the wind, it's quite nice. Look, here comes a raven right there. He heard it's lunchtime. Yeah. Okay, this is like a perfect place to sit, but I don't know if it's too windy.
It was actually pretty nice.
Okay, I think we'll be sitting down here. Ah, my goodness. Got a little bit of sun now on Lincoln Slide, Franconia Ridge. This is our out of the way lunch spot. Nice view, huh? Garfield over behind, West Bond. Back at the junction with the Wilderness Trail now, and we've decided that as the Wilderness Trail, I told you this morning, and it's really obvious, was a rail line. If you look on Gaia, the rail line continues right here, and it goes out to the water in about a half mile. So I think we're gonna walk down it, just see what it looks like. You know, see what the water looks like there too. Whether you could do a crossing there or something. I don't know. All right, let's go check out this old rail line. We're only a couple hundred feet up, and there's an old trestle that's all washed out. So I think we're gonna, and people obviously camp here. I think we're gonna go down to the water and see if we can cross, which we can right over there. And then we'll go up and the rail line continues behind the trestle. This is pretty cool. Okay, we made it across. Went upstream about 50 feet maybe, and rock hopped. And then there's an actual trail that comes up right along the side here. I mean, not a trail, but a well-worn path. There's the trestle. Pretty neat. It looks better from the other side. More impressive. And there's water here. You wouldn't want to cross there. Well, you couldn't cross there without getting wet. And then this is the continuation of the rail line. A little ways up trail, or not trail, but up the old rail line, there's an awesome campsite right next to the water. Has a cedar growing at it, a couple of them. Seating around a fire pit. Oh, this is nice. And an actual like fire ring thing. Fire pit. We never have fires, so that doesn't matter to us at all, but it's a nice area. Okay, so this is what's left over of the rail trestle that crossed the river, I guess. I don't think that the river is crossable here safely. I'm also standing on something man-made. So it looks like there could have been a bridge going over there, and that's going to be like the wilderness trail over there. I think I said before that we were junctioning with Bondcliff and the wilderness trail. I think Bondcliff Trail is all the way from the wilderness bridge, I think. And it just turns there. I don't know. You guys know what I mean, right? So up here, there's evidence of camp fires. I think that there's a pretty flat spot right there. Looks also like a bucket or something. What is that? Let's see. What is that? Oh, look at that. That's a big piece of hardware for, I guess, for a bridge. That's pretty cool. This is not the flattest, but you could put a tent there. There's also a nice spot down near the river right over there, which is where the rail line would have gone. Okay, so this was our little experiment to see what was out here and to see if the river looked like it would be easily crossable, and it does not look easily crossable here. We are back on the Bondcliff Trail. I don't know why I was calling it wilderness all day, but it's the bottom of the Bondcliff Trail, and it's like 1.8 miles of this, so we have probably 1.25 miles or something left to get back to the bridge over Franconia Brook and the edge of the wilderness, and then we'll have the just under 3 miles of Lincoln Woods to walk out. So not much excitement on those trails. This is good day. It was a little colder and a little more overcast than forecast. Actually, maybe the temperature was about right, but it just...
I hope it would be better.
I hoped that the sky cover would be better. I don't know. It was good. We did have periods of sun, and it got really warm. When the sun was out, it was excellent. And there would be no wind when the sun was out. But it keeps coming and going. Got some blue skies ahead, but also lots of clouds. Quiet day up there. Saw one hiker, I think, and 3 trail runners / hiker. I don't know. They all had on shorts and little running packs, so I think they were all not hiking, not slow. Okay, I'm rambling. Here's some sun. Look at that. Now I'm getting hot again. Beautiful day. I really enjoyed going down that old abandoned rail spur. That was cool. See that big trestle. And we agreed that we think the water would be hoppable, not hoppable, wadeable in warm weather, but not unlike the crossing of the Wild River. That's like up near the Wild River campground. It can be really, really dangerous. It's quite a wide crossing, so is this. This is probably less wide, actually. But I think there are some deep holes in it and things. But I think it would be crossable. Wading, maybe knee deep. I don't know. I don't know how much the water will come down in the middle of the summer. But all right, that was Bondcliff.